say this revolution is characterized by the fight of robots against human beings.
They used COVID as a beta test for how they want to control populations.
Now, what if I said to you that your freedoms rested on the resolve of, believe it or not, Russia and China?
Working less, earning less, driving less, eating less, heating less.
We do not yet know the full extent and the systemic and structural changes which will happen. We do know that global energy systems, food systems, and supply chains will be deeply affected.
He says, you will own nothing and you'll be happy.
Yes.
If that doesn't freak people out, that's some Orwell shit right there.
Picture this. You tap your banking app and it spins like a fidget toy. Then this pops up. Funds unavailable. Please remain calm. Your debit card is now just a shiny piece of plastic. Outside, drones buzz over rooftops, sirens howl, and every headline shouts one phrase: the Great Reset is here. Now, before you start panic eating your canned chili stash, take a breath. We're about to run a high-octane simulation based on what ChatGPT thinks a realistic Great Reset might actually look like. What came out felt like the plot of a dystopian blockbuster. From riots to robots, we'll explore it all and give you key survival tips along the way. Could a Great Reset happen? Maybe. Should we prepare? Absolutely. How did one 2020 World Economic Forum meeting spark a global conspiracy? If a Great Reset hits, do cash and private property vanish? And if the elites run the show, does that mean we'll be monitored 24/7? Strap in, drop your phone into a Faraday pouch if you have one, and let's roll through the next decade. It started in June 2020. Half the world was in lockdown. The World Economic Forum, or WEF, made up of world leaders and CEOs, rolled out a plan called the Great Reset, arguing that COVID-19 was a wake-up call to build a better global financial system. Klaus Schwab, the founder and mastermind behind this forum, said the pandemic blew holes in the economy. Record debt, whole industries frozen, 1 in 4 US workers filing for unemployment, and the International Monetary Fund warning the world economy could shrink 3%. Imagine a company losing 3% of all its sales overnight, but that company is Earth. The WEF's remedy sounded noble enough. Rebuild capitalism to serve people and the planet, push stakeholder goals over quarterly profits, make governments nimble rather than bigger, and enlist businesses to cut carbon, modernize education, and narrow inequality. But for many in the far-right media, this plan was seen as a way to control the masses. The phrase, "you'll own nothing and be happy," taken out of context from an essay by Danish politician Ida Auken, a participant in the WEF, began spreading like wildfire. The Great Reset had grown from a policy memo into a global boogeyman, whispered everywhere from Ottawa truck stops to rallies in Sydney. For conspiracy theorists at the time, many believed that the COVID-19 virus was engineered by world elites to set their devious plan in motion. To be frank, we are not endorsing any of these theories. But there's another type of Great Reset that might be coming, and it involves the rapid development of AI technology. And it's scarier than you might think. Ironically, we let AI map out what this dystopian nightmare will look like. So strap in and prime your backup generators. The simulation boots in February 2026. 1 hour after midnight in London, banking apps glitch, then freeze. By dawn in New York, every ATM is out of service. The Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications Network, or SWIFT, the digital post office for $5 trillion daily, goes silent. A massive cyber attack targeting global financial institutions sets the first domino into motion.
We're under attack.
Governments blame foreign actors, and conspiracy forums explode with even crazier ideas. In the first hour, phones light up with panic tweets. By hour 12, stock markets in New York, London, and Tokyo slam the brakes. On day 3, governments declare an emergency banking holiday. ATMs remain dark. Credit cards decline.
The machine broke, y'all.
Border agents waive cash only. Grocery warehouses cannot pay suppliers. Trucks are idle, and store shelves are quickly picked bare. Over $5 trillion in market value is wiped out. Food distribution grinds to a halt, and news channels report a chilling message. An unknown AI worm, trained on dark web financial systems, is suspected of the attacks. This isn't just any malware or virus. It's learning to adapt. Like ChatGPT, but fine-tuned for cybercrime. As tech investigators compare notes, they notice echoes from earlier warnings. In 2017, the NotPetya worm slipped out of a Ukrainian accounting program update. It spread into Europe, Asia, and the US and burned through about $10 billion. Today, Western agencies still point a finger at Russia for that one. Then in 2021, the DarkSide hacker crew shut down the Colonial Pipeline and left drivers from Florida up to Virginia idling in lineups wrapped around blocks. Today's code feels like both those disasters mashed together on steroids. The best cybersecurity agencies managed to stop the worm for now, but things are only just beginning. Think of the global economy at this point as a phone stuck at 1% battery, but there is no charger in sight.
I got a life and death call on this phone. My battery's about to die. Do you have a charger?
Survival tip, keep at least 2 weeks cash, fuel, and barter goods. Keep critical data on unplugged storage devices. When the network catches a virus, the only firewall is distance, so disconnect devices you do not need. The cyber meltdown drags the economy into a steep dive. Companies scramble to cut spending, while AI agents and robots slide neatly into human jobs.
They took our jobs!
They took your job! They took your job!
A Goldman Sachs study from 2023 warned that artificial intelligence could replace work equal to 300 million full-time jobs. Corporate leaders treat that warning like step 1 in a new playbook. Chatbots now draft contracts, handle customer gripes, and scan software for bugs. 12 months in, nearly 40% of office jobs are gone. The slaughter is not limited to cubicles. Government helplines, legal clerks, insurance coders, and even local newsrooms swap night shifts for language models that never sleep or call in sick. The trucking industry turns a corner, too. A fast-tracked, post-crisis AI acceleration policy pushes self-driving rigs onto every interstate. 60% of long-haul deliveries now hum along without a human behind the wheel. The fallout piles up quickly. Youth unemployment in rich nations rockets to 38%. On graduation day, many students trade caps and gowns for protest signs that read, "Humans, not bots." Downtown squares from Chicago to Paris to Seoul overflow with angry crowds. TikTok captures the mood in one viral trend called the pink slip dance. I kinda dig it. Newly fired workers record one last silly spin as they leave headquarters, a 90 million view parade of nervous laughter. Watching your accountant replaced by a turbocharged spreadsheet hurts, especially when it asks for a tip, adding insult to injury. Skills that need real hands still pay the bills. Welding, plumbing, off-grid solar setups, electrical repairs in small towns. If you prefer soil to spreadsheets, learn about farming and water harvesting. A short course at a rural trade school can outshine a fancy resume when algorithms own the office.
Hey, excuse me, you're a handyman, right? Can I get you to come look at my oven door? I can trade you services. I have geology skills.
As jobs around the world get replaced, the next target is money. 2 years after the cyber chaos, governments want tight control over every coin that moves. Their answer is a central bank digital currency, or CBDC. According to the Atlantic Council, an international security and global economic think tank, 134 countries covering 98% of the world's GDP are already exploring CBDCs.
Great thing about central bank digital currency, in other words, an all-digital currency system, you have the perfect tool to deal with inflation. If inflation gets out of hand, you just freeze everybody's bank accounts.
China leads the race with its digital yuan called the ECNY. It hits almost 1.8 trillion yuan, about 250 billion USD in transactions across 120 million wallets. A mind-bending number. But that money is just code. With a single click, the government can freeze it or make it vanish. In 2021, Nigeria tried this with their digital currency, Naira, yet 98.5% of those wallets sat untouched after a year. Folks trusted Bitcoin or even live chickens more than the shiny new app. In this imagined future, world leaders unveil a single app called the Global Reset Wallet. Wages, welfare, and tax refunds all arrive there. Each digital dollar, euro, or yuan has its own rules. It can expire to push you to spend. It subtracts a little each time you pump gas to cover your carbon bill, and it blocks purchases if any rules are broken. Go over your meat quota or try to book a flight over 900 miles, and the screen flashes, "Purchase denied. Please choose a greener option." A shiny press release for the upcoming Unity Accord even brags, "You will own nothing but travel freely, digitally." The travel part, of course, depends on your behavior score. Behind the curtain, new algorithms watch for non-compliant spending. A fresh career appears, the behavioral alignment coach, who teaches citizens how to keep their purchase history on the good list. Survival tip: do not keep all your wealth in one programmable basket. Tuck away any valuable silver, gold, or jewelry. Stash a paper copy of your crypto key where Wi-Fi cannot reach it. And most importantly, develop and sharpen any hands-on skills you can trade. A government can freeze tokens with a single click. Still, it cannot lock down your ability to fix a generator or grow tomatoes. Before we dive deeper into this economic hellscape, be sure to like and subscribe for more insane survival stories like this. By 2030, a single digital ID will become your all-access pass. Want to hop on the subway, post a meme, or grab cough syrup? First, let the camera scan your face and match to the database. India showed back in 2009 that a huge digital ID system could work. The country rolled out Aadhaar cards, giving every citizen a unique number tied to fingerprints, photos, and basic details. In this future, China pushes the idea further. Every person carries a social credit score, while more than 626 million CCTV cameras watch nearly every street. The software does more than match faces. It tracks your walk, reads your mood, and even checks if your mask sits straight. One slip and that cross-country trip to see grandma at Christmas might turn into a lonely video call. Even access to the internet becomes policed. Drones hovering overhead become commonplace, watching you constantly and issuing speeding tickets instantly. Step outside the approved lines and life gets small, fast. Believe it or not, this isn't science fiction. In China, over 23 million people were already stopped from buying plane or train tickets after their social credit slipped. In our simulated scenario, that rulebook goes global. Hit your carbon cap? No flight for you. Miss a loan payment? Your wallet will only work at shops in your neighborhood. Remember when losing a boarding pass was the ultimate travel headache? These days, the bigger risk is losing an algorithm's thumbs up and being grounded for good. Survival in this world relies on shrinking your digital shadow. Leave the phone at home occasionally, learn how to read real paper maps, and keep your hard copy ID tucked away. If you absolutely need to vanish from cameras, try a wide brim hat and a hoodie stitched with LEDs that overwhelm infrared sensors. Call it streetwear for the age of total surveillance. The decade ends with a grand summit in Geneva. Under bright lights, world leaders sign the Unity Accord. Every digital currency now talks to the others. Paper cash is phased out, and a giant AI-powered algorithm named Harmony Engine decides how food, power, and money move around the globe. Critics repeat Elon Musk's old warning about an immortal dictator we can never escape. while supporters promise stress-free efficiency. For better or worse, one thing is certain. For an AI, there would be no death. It would live forever. Well, unless maybe an electromagnetic pulse wipes out the grid. But in all likelihood, if the AI is powerful enough, it would devise a contingency plan for that. Speaking of the grid, if you draw too much power in this hypothetical future, your energy allowance shrinks on the spot. The rules shift instantly. Your smart fridge flags you for hoarding cheese and sends a polite notice.
Aw, is somebody having a rough day?
If you object, you can chat with a customer service bot that just thanks you for your feedback and closes the ticket. Meanwhile, resistance changes shape. Street painters slip hidden slogans into glitchy murals that only human eyes can decode. This is the ultimate CAPTCHA challenge, a test used to determine if you are human. Teenagers swap battered paperbacks on math and science, keeping knowledge alive without plugs or passwords. By 2035, protest rallies spark everywhere, from the cafes of Paris to the jeepney routes in Manila. But authorities barely break a sweat. They open a laptop and click, you have been labeled, and your monetary funds have been frozen. Back in 2022, Canada showed what that looks like when 206 bank and corporate accounts, worth about $7.5 million Canadian, were frozen as a result of the country's Emergencies Act. A show of force that many saw as a necessary means to an end. But that was just a dress rehearsal. Now the freeze happens in seconds and on every continent. To fight back, people build a life that the algorithms cannot see. Solar-powered mesh nodes link rooftop to rooftop, passing messages that can't be traced. Ham radios crackle after dark with code words. Backyard makers run open-source 3D printers that spit out spare parts, valves, and farming tools. Metal tokens stamped in unsanctioned garages buy bread at pop-up markets. In hidden stalls, you might swap a sack of tomatoes for a box of ammo. And yes, even handwritten Spotify passwords. Townships in Appalachia and a cluster of villages in Eastern Europe now run on rain catch barrels, wood stoves, and hand-cranked mills. They teach kids paper math, herbal medicine, and how to mend a broken axle. Skills no AI can repo. Skill guilds pop up online and off, offering apprenticeships in water filtering, leatherwork, and low-tech grain milling. Good thing I never landed that MBA. The loan would be useless now. Authorities hit back with robots that predict crimes, cameras that read faces for anger, and deepfake videos that lure potential rebels. But counter-intel geeks train their own models to spot those fakes and spoof the scanners. It is a constant cat-and-mouse game, played in code by day and in barter at night. Survival tip? Find your crew, now. When the lights go dark, a trusted neighbor is worth more than the slickest encryption. Learn hands-on basics. Tighten a bike chain, stitch a cut, plant tomatoes. A ripe tomato still resists every hacker on Earth. So, will this future unfold exactly the way we laid it out? Probably not. Still, every scene is built on real trends already in motion.
You'll own nothing and be happy.
Technology doesn't wait for permission, and people in charge rarely leave new systems of control unused. If that makes your skin crawl, take it as motivation, not doom. Prepare rather than panic. Learn practical skills, team up with the right people, and keep a sense of humor. The AI era is not just a movie we watch from the couch. It's source code we can still get in and change. If you enjoyed the ride and crave another AI-driven scenario, then check out our next video, AI Predicts an EMP Attack on America, where a single electromagnetic pulse knocks the lights out across the entire nation. Until then, stay safe, stay prepared, and keep watching How to Survive.